Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I'm out of my void.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Rem, I'm still sick.
Whatever excuse you want to go with, Shaun. But Shaun, it's okay to be sick. You know, you're sick, but it's holiday season, baby. Fa la 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 la.
Right, we did just get done talking about how you are of the opinion that nobody's going to listen to this episode because there's so much premium content to listen to instead.
There's going to be a couple. Look, for the normies out there who aren't patrons, first of all, we appreciate you too. All right, you don't need to spend $1 for us to appreciate you as listeners. However, if you were to spend $1, now is the time of season to do so. Because
$5 specifically.
$5 specifically, because then you get access to 12 days of April Fools. You get 11 bonus episodes. You get, just from this year alone, you are going to get last year's, the years before. Look, I'm shilling just a bunch lately, and that's because it's a good fucking bargain. If you enjoy April Fools, like, I cannot emphasize, it is so much extra content, and this year, it may be the most extra content.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. But we won't explain further. But oh lord.
But either way, we still have a podcast to record, right? You know, we still gotta do our weekly diligence. I mean,
but that's gonna be anime related, and thus I can't we just stay in the world of like the 12 days where ideally it's not anime related?
Coming from the man who made me start with an anime this year.
Hey, I had you start with Rugrats, okay?
Did you?
He's forgotten. He can't even remember. He's blocked it out.
Yeah, I genuinely have. The only thing I remember is watching an anime for an episode, and you were being very upset by that.
Yep.
That's what I remember.
Hey, there you go. There's a little teaser. But what, I guess, what do we have in store for today, Shaun? Now that we have sufficiently chilled, let's go down to the pit.
Wow, I see. And here I thought I was being nice to you, Rem, and bringing up some childhood nostalgia.
Okay, nostalgia.
Yeah, because, I mean, it is the holiday season, and what is the most iconic thing of holiday season in America? That's right, toys that are way too complex that we don't really understand how to use or play, but man oh man, did they have a show that accompanied them.
And then you're like, specifically the toys of, I don't know, you remember Power Rangers, good old Voltron, we're going to be doing Kamen Rider, and then I lose my mind.
Oh god, I still love that that's my first introduction to Kamen Rider for you, because there's so much more wacky shit in Kamen Rider. But no, it's actually a bit of a nostalgia that is hyper specific to you and me. I think I don't know if you ever had any hands-on experience with it, but back in the day, Rem, we always had these animes that had toy tie-ins that always made them seem cooler and more popular, right? Like, you had the Yu-Gi-Oh! With the card games, you had the Beyblade with the tops, but there was one that kind of tried to fuse both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Beyblade into one, and had an anime adaptation of it as well, that was weirdly popular for a very short period in the West, and then disappeared off of the face of the earth.
Is that Bakugan?
That is correct, Remington.
We're doing Bakugan today? What the fuck?
Yeah, we're doing Bakugan today, Rem. Come on now. It's the holiday season. You need to get some of that toy-based nostalgia in.
Oh man, it always seemed like such a cool idea, because like Bakugan, you know, you sort of let her rip, and they're little balls, but then they land on magnets, which is kind of a nifty concept, and the magnets would cause them to spring out from their ball form to a fucking little creature. Yeah. And that is really neat conceptually, but it is much more limited, right, than the sort of field it was facing off with. Because it was filling a similar slot as for example, a Yu-Gi-Oh! And obviously, if you're looking for strategic depth, look, there's going to be a Bakugan head who's like, actually, there's a surprising degree of, I'm sure at some level there is.
Yeah.
However, there's only so much you can do with little monster balls. That's Shaun's yearbook quote.
Christ almighty. Yeah, no, I'm going to tell you right now, as someone who had Bakugan as a kid, they rarely worked that way.
Yeah.
And like you couldn't actually ever really properly play the game as much as it were. But as a kid, we enjoyed watching the anime come out. We enjoyed watching the ball fly out and then turn into a big old dragon and, trying to save the interdimensional conflict of warfare. Because Bakugan apparently takes itself a lot more seriously than we remember it, Rem. Because, first of all, wild way to introduce a game. Because you know how in like Beyblade or Yu-Gi-Oh, they prioritize the game as like one of the most important things ever.
Oh, yeah.
For Bakugan, how the game comes into existence is quite literally cards rain down from the heavens. From another dimension, as well as the little balls themselves, and people pick them up and quickly figure out that there's a game to be played with them and play them, and it becomes like a very popular game. So quite literally, interdimensional card games show up.
Oh my god, that's actually really, really good. It reminds me of there's this board game / art puzzle called City of Six Moons, right? And in it, you get a bunch of pieces, a bunch of different cards, a playmat, and everything. And then the rules are written in an alien language. And it's a solo board game, so you can play it. You can set it up, start playing, following what you think the rules are or might be. And I just feel like that would be the case here with Bakugan, just things raining down, and then it's like, all right, schoolyard rules, bitch. We're figuring it out as we go. That seems wildly unfair. And then at least for the first year or so, the kids at the schoolyard would be like, but that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things where like it's a mixture of, hey, these game pieces came out, and hey, we figured out a game with these game pieces and combined them into like an international hit immediately, which is hilarious. But the shocking twist that these interdimensional cards hold is that, spoiler alert, they're connected to another dimension where there is a massive war between the various beasties trying to maintain control. And
and in this Digiverse,
yes. Like, you say that, but yes, Ram, that is the idea. Because it starts off with these guys wanting to be like the best Bakuganers out there, or whatever they call themselves, and then eventually develops into, oh hey, we should actually try and help this other dimension type of situation. It is a weird fusion of all the early 2000s toy anime bait shows mashed into one. And I figured that would be a fun thing for us to have a look at and talk about, since, who the fuck else remembers Bakugan except for people from our generation?
But do they pull a Yugi and attack the moon?
I mean, not literally.
All right, well then why do we even give a shit, Shaun? What are we doing here? What are we doing here with our precious time on Earth if they're not going to attack the moon?
Is that the qualifier to be a good show for you, Rem, is if they attack the moon? What do you have against the moon?
In this genre.
I see.
In this genre, I just want it, it ain't going to be well written, Shaun, but it can still be enjoyable.
Well, that's for you to look and decide for yourself. Because honestly, Rem, there's not much else I can explain. You got balls, you got cards, you got dragons. What more do you need? I think we should just go and watch it, because the longer I speak, the more likely I am to collapse at this point.
All right, back to the theater you go, stud.
God almighty, I'm so scared of what you said last week.
Hey, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, excuse me, 2 weeks ago. Time is a weird soup. And with that, let's go straight into it. Let's go watch some Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
Hey y'all, we are coming up on the 12 days of April Fools, and that also means it is time for our yearly charity drive sponsored by our friend Farmer Weeb. Rather than selecting a specific anime, like our patrons have done in the past, they've crowdsourced a list of options in one of the patron channels on our Discord from Midori Days to Bakemonogatari, they will all be plugged into the almighty wheel to determine Remington's fate. For each patron, from each tier, not just those that get read during our outro, that changes their name to include the word wheel, Farmer Weeb will be donating $3 to the Trevor Project. But that's not all. This year, there's a bonus challenge. If Remington can get 10 answers in a row correct for a horror movie, higher or lower, with 3 attempts allowed, Farmer Weeb will up his donation to $5 per patron. Is Remington better at predicting horror movie scores than anime ones? We'll find out. And now, back to the show.
And we are back after watching the first 3 episodes of the hit, 2007 anime Bakugan Battle Brawlers. And tell me, Rem, did you do some really complex, deep-seated analysis of these first 3 episodes, or are you phoning it in because you're still thinking about the 12 Days of April Fools?
Hey, don't get me wrong. Always thinking about the 12 Days of April Fools. Crazy shit. But, Bakugan, also crazy shit. As is required from something trying to, aspiring to be in that Yu-Gi-Oh category, right?
Uh-huh.
And you definitely feel that. But it's, boy, oh boy, there's a lot going on. I will also note, I only found the dub, so I watched the dub.
Yeah, that is the easiest available option as an American.
Yep.
Because I think most of it is on YouTube at this point.
Yeah, this is some wild shit. So It opens up every episode with an expository intro, right?
Yep.
But it's kind of just like a batshit insane intro.
Correct.
That, if anything, it says way too much where you're like, huh? Huh?
Wasn't this a game about cards and spheres?
Yeah, so that's the intro, but then it cuts forward. I do appreciate that because even just a couple weeks ago, I criticized how many shows feel the need to, get the band together, and most other shows would start out with just a normal kid, and then it would be all right, episode 1, cards rain from the sky. Episode 2, he meets one of his friends. And thankfully, Bakugan, it's just cards fell from the sky, they made a game, and there's a friend group. Don't worry about it. Now, granted, the friend group is lacks a lot of depth or personality. Here's the friend group, right? Also, I know nobody's name. I know Dan. I know Dan. That's the main guy.
Which is hilarious because, that is definitely the anglicized version of his name because his full name is Danma.
That's so funny.
Or Danma. Yeah. So they're like, Dan's good enough.
Then we have angry blue hair girl.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Short, nerdy blonde fella.
Uh-huh.
A redhead girl who is kind of just there.
That's Alice.
The others they've thrown caricatures at. Alice, I think they had Dan have 3 friends, and then they were like, oh, we probably want a 4th. And so it's just a late addition, because I cannot emphasize, she has no personality. So, and I'm sure eventually she'll find her caricature. It's just hilarious how it does try to introduce you all right, blue hair is bratty, little blonde kid is a nerd. The girl with white hair is madly in love with Dan. And then there's Alice.
Credit where credit's due. There are 52 episodes in the first season, so there's plenty of opportunities for their characters to grow and expand. But yes, early doors. They wanted to introduce as many as possible. Early gates. Yeah.
I also can kind of appreciate having a long distance friend group. It does feel like a boomer way to capitalize on the internet, you know what I mean? Where it's
yes,
it's newfangled technology of the internet, and so he has his internet friends, right? It kind of feels like that at times. But nonetheless, it's nice that it's a little bit different. So we got our boy Dan, and he's getting ready for some battle. I'll probably keep calling them duels because that's
that is
come on.
That is the vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, this did come out a little after 5 years after it was brought over stateside. Yu-Gi-Oh was, that is.
Yeah.
And I mean, OG Yu-Gi-Oh started late 90s.
Yeah.
And the card game was, I think, 2002, if I remember correctly, along with like the porting of the anime. So, you know, there's been a few years since Yu-Gi-Oh started airing. So, you know, they're a little late to the party, but they're trying to do something different.
So yeah, Dan's getting ready to go duel. Meanwhile, one of the opening scenes is just his mom doing yoga, and so I see that Shaun's a fan of Bakugan. I see what hooked him. So he goes off to battle. Meanwhile, the dad gets home, and there is one genuinely great moment in the show, and it's the dad takes out flan from the fridge that he's very eager for. All right, he's hyped about this flan, but when the battle starts, time slows. That's just a little stylistic choice. And at the same moment, the dad trips and sort of drops and throws the flan through the air tragically, and they make the flan 3D. It's possibly the best use of CGI I've ever seen in an anime, because I cannot emphasize what the fuck. Why? Why make the flan 3D?
You know, it's very important, the value of a good pudding, you know? It's just...
Yeah, it's truly a baffling creative choice that was also so enjoyable. It was magnificent. Anyway, we get to our first duel between Dan and... There's two, like, sort of bully brothers or whatever the fuck. So he's facing one of them. And here we come to a major issue.
Mm-hmm.
Look, in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Cards have different effects and different synergies, and often there would be some random bullshit, but they would kind of like enter into sort of tabletop role-playing game explanations for the bullshit at least, right?
Yes.
So far, what we get from all of the duels, and there are a lot, there are so many thus far in these first 3 episodes, right? Is just not really any complex synergies, just somebody will summon a monster, and then their opponent will summon a stronger monster, and then they'll fight, and then the stronger monster will win. But then occasionally a card will show up to increase the number on one of the monsters. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! If they were only normal monsters, and basically the only other card that exists are equip spells to increase attack, or spells to destroy equip spells. Which creates a very, very basic experience, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because we're not witnessing any strategy. It really is just, oh man, what should I choose? I don't know, man. Probably the one that's stronger than the thing he just did.
Yeah, like, I will say it does get more complex as the show progresses, but you can tell they definitely struggled to figure out the actual game aspect of it. They had the idea for the balls, the cards, and the setting, but not the...
It feels like they genuinely started making the show after the toy, but before the mechanics.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, I don't know, man. This is stronger. I don't know. He plays the card to make it bigger. And it's like, there needs to be more. There needs to be more mechanics, dog. Once again, yeah, I'm sure they introduce it, but man, what a shitty first impression.
Hey, man. Look, as kids, we probably just like seeing big monsters come out of balls. I think that was probably enough.
But then
for us when we
here's
were
the
young.
issue also, right? The little Bakugan balls, they're a neat little device, right? They're a genuine novelty. The issue is that there's only so many ways that a ball can transform into a monster.
Yeah.
And that means that genuinely the main tool they have in their tool belt is color, and that's the typing. And so basically every color has the same set of monsters, just reskinned. So you'll be like, oh yeah, so this one right here, that is the earth turtle. This one is the water turtle. That one is the darkness turtle. And so you're very limited when you only have 6 color palettes and very limited monster designs. It's gonna start repeating itself awfully quick.
Yeah.
And once again, it's not like we're seeing crazy effects or crazy shit happening. What we're seeing is literally just a difference in power. And so it's just... the limitations are so obvious so quickly. And then even when there's an occasional bullshit in a duel, they don't try to meaningfully explain it. Half the time, they aren't even explaining how a monster's getting stronger. They're just like, and then I do this card and I win. And you're like, wait, what was... what does that do, though? Like, say what you want about Yu-Gi-Oh!, but it will be like, all right, now I play this, which means XYZ, right? This will just be like, I play this, I win. And you're like, wait, but what did that do, though? what are you accomplishing with that, though?
And can you imagine it gets infinitely more convoluted later on when they actually start dimension hopping?
Here's also the weirdest thing. All right, so in this sort of world, first of all, this is a very brain rot show, all right? This is insane brain rot show, just how it's done, how it's executed. I don't let people tell you that brain rot is a brand new Gen Z or Gen Alpha thing, all right? They may be innovating the form a little bit, but man, let me assure you, there's brain rot in generations gone by. And so you have Dan, who just kind of like lackadaisical, very stereotypical. Everything is silly and over the top and dumb. But then we get introduced to Drago, who is his talking dragon Bakugan, and that just shows up because now I realize I have to explain this this happens in episode 1. There's another dimension where Naga, a great dragon, decides that he wants to harness the power of infinity and silence, but gets captured in the darkness of silence and destabilizes the entire dimension of the Bakugan, so that their isolated worlds that are related to the elements end up sort of like blurring together, blurring with our world, and so many of them pop open here, and it also I guess lets more of them die. More of them just straight up die. Lots of them start dying, and Drago is like, holy shit, so many of my people are dying. This is an apocalyptic event mixed with a genocide. And then he'll plead with Dan to understand this. He will plead with Dan to understand this, and then Dan will just make some smart aleck comment being like, I don't understand what the big deal is. We won, right? And it's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy.
Kind of some heavy concepts for a kid's show, huh?
If anything, made all the heavier by being flippant about it. And I cannot emphasize enough, Drago, he takes it very seriously because this is an apocalyptic genocide.
Yeah.
And it's, what the fuck are we doing, Bakugan? Why is that the creative choice you made? Can you, like, when this is for like particularly young kids, right? So for things like this, don't you usually want to be either vague or imply that the apocalyptic threat is looming, but it's not literally right here, killing so many?
And just think, there's 50 episodes in this season and several sequel seasons as well.
That is fucking crazy, brother. Fucking insane.
And they can only escalate from that point onward.
Another thing this show loves doing is so many of its characters they have never lost. They have never lost even a single time. So Dan, he walks around, he's never lost. Let's see, the edgelord little Bakugan Dylan boy, he never loses. Then a new guy shows up at Masquerade, he's never lost. That's the only way they know how to tell you they're powerful. Like, they have rankings, but because the rankings don't mean a lot, they're just like, oh yeah, he's never lost before. And you're like, okay, how many people can we have that just have never lost before? Like, you need to come up with something else indicative of strength, you know? It's just such a fucking mess. And it's like, there's a couple, it doesn't really matter, the plot events of episodes 2 and 3. Yeah, they really don't matter. There's just a new kind of mysterious antagonist fella.
Mm-hmm.
And Drago and Dan kind of become friends. They win a duel in episode 3, but by the skin of their teeth. And Drago's really upset because a bunch of Bakugan died, right? And then Dan has this monologue that is kind of hilarious because he's like, look, Drago, if I get it. I was a bit hasty. And if from now on you want like an equal voice, all right, then we'll be a partnership. You and I will do this together. But I get it. You don't even want to be here. So he throws Drago off a bridge. Like, the start of the monologue is, I understand, and we should work together. I'll listen to you from now on. And the end of the monologue with no transition is, I get it. You don't want to be here. Well, fuck you. Toss him off a bridge. The show's fucking wild. The show's wild. Yeah. I don't know how to process this show. I don't know what to do. This is just in my brain now.
Yep. And I don't think it'll leave anytime soon, my guy.
It's crazy. It really is. Look, it aspires to be Yu-Gi-Oh! And unfortunately, it's not quite the premium trash that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was. So I would still be like, no reason to watch this when you can just watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, there's plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh! So that ain't gonna run out anytime soon. But no, I guess if you've seen all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you still need more, I guess you can start watching Bakugan. I guess that's an option.
You're just not gonna get quite the same level of initial complexity, you know?
Yeah, and even like Yu-Gi-Oh! Its silliness was better and more entertaining. It was higher quality trash, all right? This kind of just trash, but it has occasional amusing moments in spite of itself. The flan was great. Oh my god. Look that up. It's early on in the first episode. Let me find a timestamp so I can
it's like in like the first 5 minutes of it. It is very quick.
And it is genuinely just like kind of a blink and you'll miss it moment, but it's so great to just have random CG flan out of fucking nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And I probably should clarify, it's really a Japanese style pudding, but you know.
Sure. So it's about 4 minutes 10. What I love is it goes from 2D to then a shot of just the pudding. Yep. Just the pudding suddenly in 3D jiggling away. Why? Yep. Why?
Well, they're trying to maximize their use of CG. You know, this was, 07.
I know. It's the best thing Bakugan will ever do. Oh my god. And what we don't see is that when it hits the ground, it transforms into the pudding dragon. And that happens off screen, and the dad goes through his whole Bakugan arc, discovering this new type.
Oh god. It's a wild show, Rem. It is a wild fucking show. And great news, if people want you to watch more of it, there's so much more of it.
It's wildly unnecessary. Wildly unnecessary.
There's about 10 years worth of Bakugan that we could cover.
So much Bakugan.
Because I think the last series ended in 2018. So right when we started the podcast, Bakugan ended.
we ended Bakugan.
Yes. So, if people are truly fascinated and want us to cover more, we're more than able to. Like, there is so much Bakugan out there. Like, a surprising amount. Oh God. It is an experience, and we know what you think of it, Rem. What do you think the weebs think of it?
Oh my God.
This might be a hard one. This might be a hard one.
Okay, I'll try to process, okay?
Okay.
It's trash and dog shit, but there's nostalgia. It's been going on for a while. It obviously lives in the shadow of other shows and other games, but maybe that means that there's like a cult community. But are they just there for the game, or are they there for the show? I guess I'm gonna say 7.21 and shrug my shoulders.
Fair enough. Final answer?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Rem, at the time of this recording, only 72,000 people have decided to watch Bakugan and rate it on Mal. So far fewer than you'd anticipate for such a prolific show from our childhood.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But with those 72,000 ratings, Bakugan Battle Brawlers, the first season, is sitting nice and pretty at 6.49.
Okay.
Yeah, no, genuinely the consensus is, hey, this is a pretty garbage show, but man, oh man, am I a raccoon.
Look, I'm telling you, anybody interested in the show, just skip to 4 minutes into the first episode, watch for 15 seconds, and then turn it off and leave.
People will apparently do the opposite, because quite literally, looking at the stats breakdown page, just within the past 24 hours, like 6 people have watched all 52 episodes of this show.
What the fuck? Guys, you don't need to do this to yourself. You don't need to. It's unnecessary.
Apparently, they like the silly trash show, and the silly trash show makes them happy. And clearly, it must have made a lot of people happy because it got 10 years worth of content, which is still insane to think about. But hey, who knows? Maybe it gets just more rich and more complex as the future seasons go on. You know?
Yeah,
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sure.
Started off pretty weird as well. And I mean, hell, the original Duel Monsters game was quite literally 2 chapters of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga that eventually turned into a massive spin-off that became the main representation of it all.
I will say, at times, I felt like, especially with all the lore dumps that we were getting that tried to be so profound, but were just very contrived, it started feeling very Shyamalan Lady in the Water to me.
God, that's a reference that most people are not going to get.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. But that's probably for the best, because nobody should ever have to watch that movie. It is truly awful.
It's a rough one.
It's fucking awful. Very bad. But yes, so Bakugan isn't exactly reaching the high highs of early Yu-Gi-Oh! For ya. But hey, man, there's so much more to consume. Who knows? Maybe there's some secret sauce that gets injected in halfway through that's going to change your perspective of it for everyone.
For sure.
Maybe there'll be more pudding. Who knows? Oh, goodness. And with that, I guess the final question I need to ask you, lad, is there any chance you'd like to watch more Bakugan?
You know, I think I'm alright. I think I'm good.
I think you need more Bakugan in your life, man. I feel like it'll change things for you.
You know,
give you a new perspective.
It certainly would change things, but those things would probably be my mental well-being.
Bless. Well, with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed Remington being very confused by early 2000s kids shows, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcast and leave us a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is still not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime-out-of-context, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. I've been sick lately, so I haven't been streaming. Call that naughty if you like, but look, once I'm fully 100% embedded, then I'll go back to streaming, because I don't think people will tune into a stream where it's just me coughing every few minutes and occasionally being like, oh yeah, isn't that neat?
Naughty Shaun's gonna get some big hole in his big hole.
Oh, Christ. Oh, man. But if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including the currently airing 12 Days of April Fools. That's right, 12 whole bonus episodes that are airing, and I gotta say, by God, this is the most effort we've ever put into it.
Yes, yes. So God, they're with just one of the days that I had in store, it required dozens of hours of prep time on my behalf.
Yep, and genuinely, I had to consume content for a stupid amount of time. Like, it was completely accidentally, by the way. So, go check that out. $5 a month. You get all 12 of this year's episodes and all episodes previously. It means the world to us, and we do love and appreciate you enjoying my suffering for a change. But with that, we have some lovely people to thank. Who are we thanking this week, Rem?
Of course, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are throwing a ball at us that transforms into a turtle and a Grim Reaper. And on that list we have Yetta Ramsey stuck in a hamster wheel for charity. The Hot Wheels Wheel of Power is my waifu. Mine Hack the Wheel. Silly mistake, but this wasn't the Wheel of Time audiobook. It was Shaun's OnlyFans. Uwu. The Wheel has spoken. The Snow Bros have a new saltine side piece, Dylan. Gobstar. Wheel Remington talk about the time God makes Hosea marry a hoe. Gandalf wants to take Shaun's Hobbit to Isengard, wink wink. When will Rem do an Xmas party quirks? Welcome to Sword Art Remington. Hope you didn't forget about your vampire past. Silas is a wheelie sleepy princess. Princess Silas was zapped. Wheeldarius, Ryan Moody, week 25 of using my Patreon name to request code Geese. Boring Siren, Sparcy. That time I reincarnated as a podcast host and forced to weeb. I'm mostly alive. Shaun admits to being Red Pill, Dick Master, Bunny Pumper, Gleazy Glinker, Super Soaker, Pope Groper, Child Kicker, Mag Supporter, Rollins, Swaraj Verdi, Jake Dent, Wheel of Weeby Truth, Wolfire 56, Leonard 98, Lucky Stars, the King of Moe. Shaun spins the Wheel of Fortune, but only wins a sad feeling. Very representative of the state of things. Fucking God. Rem, would you rather be Chinese or a woman? I can't believe I've made an account for this. Wes Kane, Bento Kato, Christmas Breaking Wheel Time. Replaying the entire Anime Out of Context playlist for a third time, it really helps me sleep. The wheel brought me back for the 12 days of Christmas. And then emoji signifying that Shaun is getting naughty with Judy.
God.
Remington is right. Shaun gooning in the theater to Zootopia 2. It's time to spin the wheel of Shaun's identity. Beach episode and harem supporter, right, Shaun? A Moe piece of trash. Sarah the Shark plushie. Aisha Gudgy. Blarf. Macaroni Uchiha. Daniel Riot. The Danish Viking will conquer the world with Roronoa Zora as my navigator. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he got kicked out of the theater for jerking himself off to completion too loudly. #wheel. Super Zoo. Erica McCorkle. Shaun Rollins. Link Joe Curl. Shaun wants to give Spoon Man a thanking yank. Rem uses the drums of liberation to free all weeps from bad anime. I want a Marvel movie starring Shaun as Spider-Man and Remington as Big Wheel. My Digimon is Mpreg Red Pilled Rollins. Daddy Rem, tell me a bedtime story about Shaun's nut. Turban. The capybara loves wheels in Gojo's eyes. I don't know, I couldn't think of something clever about wheels, but I still wanted to help the charity. Stacy's mom. Amazing Muffin. Watch a Greg Boom for Spoon Man at 0.5 speed. The wheel in the sky keeps on gooning. King Rich Rock. Pro tips out of context has run out of things to post will come back soon. Rhiannon Williams. Titan CNH. The Susanator. Brock Hart for Geo Dudes. Really excited for this episode. Yandere Neko. Anime. Is this real life? Is this just anime? Bisco's watching Cromartie High School for the Freddie Mercury tribute. Fern the Fern. G Bottom AK Brett Trap. You've heard of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but what about Rudolph the Cuckold Reindeer? P.S. Wheels. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. No waifu, no lifu. Wheel. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they going to get this week, Shaun? But not quite.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
No, that's their name. We're not there yet.
Oh.
You got Guy.
Oh, that's their name. God damn it, every time.
You got Multimai, though.
Look, man, I just wasn't listening, and then they got...
Like a sleeper agent, you heard it, you're like, all right. Holmes, Cheese Wheel Monkey, Jax, Banner Foxhole, Professor Fox, Jam Hands, Wheel Shaun ever stop gooning to Zootopia 2? Buckshin. Farmer Weeb wants Jesus to take the wheel. Ross Palmer. riding on the struggle bus, and Cassidy. Now we move on to the boy wizard tiers. Oh, what are they going to get this week, Shaun?
They're gonna get a Bakugan because it's fucking easy.
Yeah, makes sense. On that list we got, Shaun throated me like Rumi and...
Oh, okay. You can have Apollinaire.
Which I will note, Dylan, you will have to censor.
Yeah. Our patrons will know the reason why now.
Yes. so yeah, sorry, Dylan, but you'll need to just cut that out, Meldick Suzuki.
They can have B Striker.
Dominai Trigun, it will red pill even Rem.
Blade Tigrera.
Titaro saw Shaun wearing a wheelie explicit Judy cosplay.
Centipoid.
Shaun wheelie pounded my little Banussi the other week.
Clafe.
Umbrasite.
Cycloid.
Rum still needs to watch Pandora. It's Maiko and Avimucha, or else Kazumi will keep singing Twinkle Tinkle Little Star.
Dragonoid.
That mouse girl.
El Condor.
Raccoon Operator number 42.
Etc.
One Piece live action on episode 400.
Falconeer.
Semi-Kate's here to remind you that you just lost the game.
Fear Ripper.
And you get a Volvo truck wheel as a Christmas present.
Fortress.
Roscop.
Frosh.
Carver 271.
Garganoid.
Spoonman the Aristocrat is here for party quirks.
Let's go with Juggernoid.
Power Cell notices that Witty Willie whipped the whirling wheel while the whistling wind whipped wildly. Monogatari is...
Laser.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Laserman.
Monogatari is everything you guys... and I would pay $100 per pin on the wheel to change a pin to Monogatari.
Mantras.
The great butt ball of despair misses you.
Naga.
Nurikaza hashtag SONR soaking one nut Rollins.
Preas Diablo.
Mike.
Rattleoid.
Beethoven 1201.
Ravenoid.
I like even the names, you gotta say they're just not great. They're just
Well, wait for the complexity of this next one.
Oh, okay. Wheeltums.
Reaper.
Silent Secondary.
Robot Talion.
Miguel Deleon.
Stinglash.
And Allfather only just realized on the 2nd that the 12 days drops next week. He's heckin' excited now last week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully there's some wild shit in there. And also some tame shit and some weird shit and some normal shit. It's a weird one this year.
You can have Wormquake.
Now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Shaun, as Joey Wheeler, will he is gonna obviously what he's gonna do.
What am I gonna do, Rem?
He's gonna give you something round, and I will tell you the Bakugan that emerges from it.
Oh, quite.
Anything round. Anything round at all.
Okay.
On that list we got follow anime out of context on Blue Sky, tagging Gart and Trash Station on previous episode to get him on the pod. Who bow wheel?
Okay. You can have BB-8 from the hit Star Wars franchise, and definitely not the most hated trilogy of the three.
And he's going to unfurl to reveal Jar Jar Binks. It's been him all along. Next up we got humanoid monsters are like a tasting party, but for fucking spin the wheel, bitch.
Jesus Christ, you could have Kirby.
Kirby is gonna unfold into Kirby, who unfolds into yet another Kirby, who unfolds into King Dedede, who unfolds into Kirby.
That's a fucking nightmare.
Last but not least, we got Shaun was too busy playing Wheel of Fortune with Judy, but replaced Wheel with Jorkin and Fortune with Penis. It's still so good.
It's genuinely hilarious. For your sphere, you can have a nice melon.
And that melon, it will unfurl into the great Bakugan. Jesus.
Melons to Jesus. A Bakugan story.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, send an email over on to animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
You got balls.